Hello everyone and welcome to our stream today. What I'm going to be doing today for you guys is showcasing, what is that? Sorry, I might turn down my mic settings. What we're going to be showcasing today is how to build a room on TryHackMe. Now, this is my first attempt at building a room on TryHackMe. So, what we're going to essentially see throughout this whole stream is me fumble my way through it, as someone else who is doing this for the first time may do as well, and try and pick up some of the key things that fail as we're doing something new, but being open and exposing ourselves to failure on the grand stage that is streaming. So, without further ado, let's go ahead. Now, we have an upcoming data hackathon where we're going to be putting some students through the ringer, trying to decode a range of different data sets, answer a bunch of questions that we've set out, to find answers and be the first one to solve, or at least get the most points throughout the hackathon. I'm now building the room with all of the questions that our wonderful content team has provided us with, and without understanding anything about TryHackMe or about data, I'm attempting to go through and build this room. So, without further ado, we'll get stuck in. So here we've got the developer options to build rooms. Now, I've already started building it. We've got the name, the data extravaganza. We have the plot, the fact that you're a with you, with me data analyst, being assigned to Canada's most cartoonishly written snow and maple syrup company. Cheesy, I know, but what we're going to be doing is there's a scenario that's been built and we have to answer questions throughout that scenario. So we've got a range of different things. We're going to say maybe it's a medium room. We've got all of the settings here, which I won't go into too much detail for. I believe most of this is accurate. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in any of these. And then we're going to go to our tasks. Now, I've got a set of questions here. These are the questions, these are the answers. We're going to go and import these in. Now, I've got to try and figure out the best way of showcasing this. So, build a task. New task is eliminate, what should we say? Eliminate bad data. This could be the objective as well. Actually, we'll say eliminate bad data here, and we'll say the title is, the title will be clean data. There we go. Clean data. Now the description will be here. To clean this data, here's the data sets. Now let's put this in there. Plain text. Okay, to clean this data set, you will need to first remove the entries representing missing value. This data set has a unique way of representing null values. What is it? Okay. Let's make this the question. The question is, what is the unique representation of null values? We add an answer in here, and the answer, as per the sheet, is minus 9,999.9. And that is the answer that we have. Moving on to the next question. Now, this has already been in the title. So, who lives in the coldest province? Let's take this question, insert it into here, coming up against some issues here. Let's just put that into there. Now, who lives in the hardest going up? Who lives in the coldest province? And let's take the answer of Alberta. Actually, A, B as the answer, because we will represent New Brunswick or Alberta as two-letter words, because it's going to give someone a hint of how many characters the answer is. So A, B, or NB. All right, let's add another question. An important thing that I heard we need to do is save regularly as well, so that we don't run into any issues with our work being lost. So let's go to the next question. This could potentially give away some of the answers, so I've got to try and figure out the best way we can do this. Let's go here, let's put this in for now. Response. Okay. And again, the answer. Let's add another question in. Let's put this bad boy over here. Let's also say, for user functionality, answer is written as NB or AB, so that they know how to enter in that data. Now, who is the answer? NB. New question. This could be a cheap question. Like I said before, when you enter in the answer, it shows up in the availability for them to be able to put in one of their responses of what they think the answer to the question is. It will show asterisks for however many characters the answer is. So, in order to make it, if we said yes was the answer, it would come up with 3 asterisks in comparison to if it was no, it would come up with 2. So, we represent the ability to answer the question here as Y or N to be able to make it a more fair representation so that nobody cheats. They actually have to find the answer. We need to take into account wind chill. That's the next question. For the wind chill effect, you judge how hard it was. Which province had the highest wind speed on average during the relevant time period? Okay. And the answer is NB. Is this the last question for this task? It is. Which province had the highest average pressure at station, not at sea level? This may be a trick question. Granted, I don't want to go through the data sets. I'll show you an example of one of the data sets. So as we can see here, a lot of options, a lot of data. And then let's scroll down, shall we? Computer may crash here. We have 47,557 rows of data in one of the 13 spreadsheets that are available. That's a lot of data. So the participants in this data hackathon will have to go through all of that data, but find better ways of analyzing the data so they don't have to go through 47,000 rows of data. If you're interested in learning more about how to analyze this kind of data, how to appropriately gain insights from, data sets like this, whether it be, profit and loss statements, whether it be average shoe size of the average Sydney man or whatever it may be, being able to go through this kind of data and analyze this kind of stuff is a tricky process. You need to know what it is and how you go about approaching analyzing the data. At With You With Me, we actually have a range of courses that are available for free for veterans, military spouses, immediate family, the neurodiverse, and a range of other underemployed areas. So if you're interested in finding out more, then feel free to comment in these sections and we'll get it onto you, send you the links, show you everything that you need to know about it. Now, let's continue. So that's task one. Let's now make a new task. This new task will be the next set of questions. So, these questions are a little bit more straightforward in terms of what they're asking for, what they want the answer to be. Add a question, and let's add an answer. Okay, just realized we maybe need to change some of these details. So, when we go into task one, it's clean data. That's not actually that's just the purpose of task one. So this will need to stop here. Where's the data reflected there? Let's set this to that. The description is the first part, laying the foundation for the argument that the CEO and the general manager are having. So let's settle this debate. Find who had it worse. Go through all of the questions both the CEO and the general manager have about who had worse. Okay, let's save that. Now, I need to wait for that to load. Change the name here. The new task. Let's have a look at what the questions are like. Next, we're going to see how our data looks. Okay, so this is finding more insights, digging deeper. Consider the range of temperatures, winter years, normal winter's day. Okay, so let's use this as an opportunity to the data sets you have. Whoops. The data sets you have. We'll work on a description a little bit later, but let's get stuck into this. Let's add an answer. I'm having a lot of trouble with this. There we go. The answer is here. Now this may not be the best way of setting it up, and we're not 100% sure as we go through this. As I said, this is one of my first times exploring this. So the process is now learning, what do I need in terms of the data, the questions, to set this up, and then what's the best way for the user, as they go through this room, to figure out what it is. Now with you, with me, we have a strong focus on being transparent about where you are, where your skill levels are at, and we have a huge emphasis on being allowed to fail through something. So for example, I'm going into this not having the experience, not having the understanding of how a try-hack-me room works, how any of the data side of things work. But what we really encourage here with you, with me, not just within internal workers, but with the people that we're helping train and upskill, is a strong focus on being vulnerable and learning from the failures that you go through. So right now, I am figuring out how I put this together and figuring out what does and doesn't work. I'm getting the hang of it, I think. I'm starting to understand how this is going to be represented, how this is going to look. And obviously, once we go through, we put it all together, we're going to go through this room, we're going to see how it looks, we're going to test it, see if answering the questions works, see if someone who actually has data experience can go in, actually get it done, and answer these questions. And if it takes them a long period of time, then we look at removing some of the questions. It's all part of the process of learning. So, next question. This is really going to the next level of data, looking at these questions, really asking them to dive deep into their knowledge of data analytics. This is going to be fun. So there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, and this one is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just going to put this in as this the right answer to begin with, and then we'll have to revisit that one a little bit later. No. So you cannot copy tables across into here, which doesn't represent the data well. See, we're learning. And ask the question. I think what we're going to find is we're going to have to go back, and all of these scenarios that we build out here will have question 1 scenario, and then the question will be here. So that's what I think I'm going to have to do. So for example, this is the question that we're actually asking. We might need to put scenario up here so that it reads better. I'm going to finish putting this room together, preview it, and see if that's what we need to do. If that's going to be the more efficient way, or effective way of putting together this room. Question number. There's 9 questions. Interesting. Dependent on how skilled someone is at data, we may have to remove some of these questions because it does look like there is a lot of questions and a lot of data to go through. We have 3 rooms, as you can see from down here. And the last one is a tricky room, from what I understand. Did I make a mistake here? No? Okay. Between what range to 50% of the mean winter temperature? Is that maybe meant to be occurs? How do I represent this as? I think I'll just take it like that and then ask them later what they think the best way of representing this is. So let's save this. Task updated. And then this is the one that isn't entirely finished. Rotation time. Create a chart. What I could maybe do is actually copy this, because there's the one question that is here. Make this the description. And then the question is an answer. And the question is, if I understand that right, create a chart to compare how the average yearly winter snowfall has changed over the years between the AB and the NB. There needs to be an answer. But I haven't been supplied with one, so we're going to save that. And then when we get more answers, we're going to be able to complete the entire room. So that's what we've got there. The design, access. Let's see if this works. I think I have locked this. Let's look at it incognito. All right, we're going to have to play around with that a little bit later. But I think for now, that might be a good place to stop showcasing. What I've done is essentially played around with the ability to build a room, set questions, set tasks, and give I guess, a way of seeing how people go through building. Now, if you have any points of feedback and things like that, we'd love to hear, so feel free to comment. We've got some people that are actually experienced at doing this within the company, which I'm going to ask them to go through and have a look at what I've done and what I've done wrong and what I can do better. But hopefully you guys got something out of that today. There's a lot of streams that we do of just some basic work, whether it be software or web design, whether it be some of the events that we're running, can even sometimes be these hackathons that we do probably every 6 or so weeks. Might even start streaming our ping pong matches once we're allowed back in the office, which should be fun. So if you want to get some free training to do data analytics, cybersecurity, software development, and a range of other in-demand tech career skills, if you're a veteran, a military spouse, a immediate family member, or even someone who is neurodiverse, we offer free training to those underemployed groups. Go through the training, develop all these new skills, gain your certifications, and then if you've got the right attitude and aptitude for the roles, we've got a bunch of roles that we're hiring for, so we'd love to see you there. So feel free to go to our website, look at signing up,